Hello, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Literary Love 123, where I like to extol the literary merits of the horror genre while also complaining about the hell that is summer. So join me for some cocktails, tasty, and some book unhauling. So after a quick intro, we'll start tossing some books out. So I apologize if the fan is distracting and if the tank top I'm wearing is not the most aesthetically pleasing look. But until October hits, you may see me quite frequently wearing tank tops and using my fan in videos because, as I mentioned, it's really hot down here in South Alabama. I'm miserable. But let's talk about what we're here for, and that is to drink cocktails and unwholesome books. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that this makeshift bookshelf I have behind me completely just crashed from the weight of all the books I had on it. I am getting some custom made bookshelves that I'm so excited about, but that's going to take a few months. Meanwhile, I've got some more carts like you see behind me in my storage cart. I've got a couple of those that I'm going to be getting that I ordered. They should be here soon. So I'm going to be able to put some of my books that are on the floor and on this crash down shelf on those book carts. But I also need to unhaul some books. So I've got a lot of books to unhaul, some that just weren't really in my style or genre of reading, some that are, including some towards the end that are going to be pretty controversial to unhaul because they have been some favorite books for a lot of people recently. So yeah, just hang on for the end if you want to be shocked, right? That's also a hook to try to get you to please watch through the whole video because I'm a new YouTuber and I don't have a lot of subscribers and views. But anyway, let's move on from that little pity party and my little begging there. So let's talk about the books that I'm getting rid of. The first one I did read, and it was okay. It was fun, but this is not my kind of reading. Neon Gods by Katie Robert. Um, Society darling Persephone Demetrio plans to escape the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over far from the backstabbing politics of the 13 houses. But all this ripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind. I didn't read that right. But all that's ripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind their glittering city's dark facade. With no options left, Persephone flees to the forbidden Undercity. And I'm just going to kind of summarize the last bit. Makes a devil's bargain with Hades. And anyway, this is Hades and Persephone smut, just to sum it up for you. So, yeah, it was fun when I read it, but it's not my typical reading. So, yeah, I'm going to just unhaul Neon Gods. Let me see. Can I casually toss this? I don't know. How many cocktails have I had before the filming of this video? Mm, I don't know that either. And neither do you. So the next book I'm going to unhaul, I did start reading it and I just couldn't get into it. And it's One by One by Ruth Ware. And I have liked The It Girl by Ruth Ware. I liked In a Dark, Dark Wood. I feel like there's something else I read by her and liked, but I can't remember what it is. But this one it wasn't pulling me in. So I'll give you just a quick synopsis here. Getting snowed in at a luxurious rustic ski chalet high in the French Alps doesn't sound like the worst problem in the world, especially when there's a breathtaking vista, a full service chef and housekeeper, a cozy fire to keep you warm, and others to keep you company, unless that company happens to be 8 coworkers, each with something to gain, something to lose, and something to hide. So, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. It's fan break. Okay. The next book I got from Book of the Month, and I didn't even crack it open. I heard other booktubers talk about it and really like it. Oh, I like this. Respectfully, leave me alone. I'm going to keep that bookmark. All right, so the synopsis, this is like a thriller. Picture a lovely cottage on a cliff with sloping sloping lawns, slurring words, walking past and beautiful flowers. It's Gabe and Pippa Wright's dream home in a sleepy coastal town. But their perfect house hides something sinister. The tall cliffs have become a popular spot for people to end their lives. Over the past several months, Gabe comes to their rescue, literally taking them off the ledge until one day he doesn't. When Pippa discovers Gabe knew the victim, the questions spiral. Did the victim jump? Was she pushed? And with Gabe, the love of Pippa's life, her soulmate, lie. As the perfect facade of their marriage begins to crack, the deepest and darkest secrets begin to unravel. Because sometimes the most convincing lies are the ones we tell ourselves. Wait a minute. You know what? I'm not going to unhaul this one. Rereading that synopsis, I feel interested in it again. So, yeah, I'm keeping that one. Let's have another sip. If you like pina coladas. Sorry. All right. The next one I read, and I did like it. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did like it. Reprieve by James Hahn Matson. So this is about like an escape room, but people went into it thinking that the story was mostly going to be about the escape room itself and the contestants in the escape room, but it's mostly about getting like a backstory for the different contestants and the way that they have dealt with certain oppressions in society. So if you're going into it thinking it's going to be kind of a thriller type book, that's not what it is. Again, it's more about commentary on society. But I did like it, but I know I'm not going to read it again, so I'm going to unhaul it and let someone else enjoy it. I am back with another drink. I had to make another one. I ran out. So let's continue on with the unhaul. Where am I? Okay. So I feel kind of bad because my best friend gave me this book. And she really likes it a lot. But we have different reading tastes. If you've watched my Horror Reader Reads Romance vlog, I read one of her favorites in that vlog, Butcher and Blackbird, and you know my thoughts about that. I'll link that video down in the description box below if you want to know what I thought of it. So this is the one by John Mars, and I know a lot of people have enjoyed this book. And I think it was made into like a TV series. So I'll give you the synopsis. A simple DNA test is all it takes. Just a quick mouth swab, and soon you'll be matched with your perfect partner, the one you're genetically made for. That's the promise made by Match Your DNA. A decade ago, the company announced that they had found the gene that pairs each of us with our soulmate. Since then, millions of people around the world have been matched. But the discovery has its downsides. Test results have led to the breakup of countless relationships and upended the traditional ideas of dating, romance, and love. Now, 5 very different people have received the notification that they've been matched. They're each about to meet their one true love, but happily ever after isn't guaranteed for everyone because even soulmates have secrets and some are more shocking than others. It's just not my thing. It's just not. So I'm gonna unhaul that one. Excuse me, I thought I was about to sneeze. Okay. Okay, I'm not. Okay, so the next one I read years ago. I got about, I don't know, halfway through it, and the cover's stunning. Augustin Burroughs, Toil and Trouble. And I liked what I read of it. But here's the synopsis. I don't recall a lot about it or why I picked it up in the first place. For as long as Augustin Burroughs could remember, he knew things he shouldn't have known. He manifested things that shouldn't have come to pass. And he told exactly no one about this, save one person, his mother. His mother reassured him that it was all perfectly normal, that he was descended from a long line of witches. Now, no, I picked it up. Going back to the days of the early American colonies, and that this family tree was filled with witches. It was a bond that he and his mother shared until the day she left him in the care of her psychiatrist to be raised in his family. After that, Augustin was on his own. So, yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of the synopsis, but I know I'm not going to pick this back up again, even though I was liking it. It's just not something I feel like I'd be into reading right now. Somebody else probably would. So I'm going to unhaul that one. Let's take a sip here. Let's drop some. Excuse me. Okay. So the next one is Children of Chicago, which I read earlier this year. I ended up giving it 3 stars. So it's kind of like taking a fairy tale spin, especially the Pied Piper, and setting it in modern day Chicago and connecting it to murders happening in this city. And so I thought it was interesting, but it just wasn't like a super favorite for me. And I know that I'm not going to read it again. Did I say who it was by? Children of Chicago by Cynthia or Sin Paleo. It was just like okay to me. I think I've read it. Yeah, I read it for Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures, her Folklore February readathon. So I will link also that vlog that I did. I think I did a vlog for it. I'll link it down in the description box below so you can see what I thought of it. But again, somebody else will probably enjoy it. All right, so the next one is Butcher and Blackbird. I mentioned I did read this for my Horror Reader Reads Romance vlog, so I'll link that down below. I'm gonna unhaul it. The problem is, like, and here's a question I have. Did I write in? Yeah, I wrote in this book for annotation purposes. So I don't really know where to unhaul it or what to do with it. So if you could let me know, like if you know have actually written in a book, what is the proper etiquette for unhauling it? Let me know. If any of you want this book, let me know. And I'll help you out there. Okay, let me have another sip here, like I need it. All right. The next book I gave 2 stars. The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I don't really want to say much about this one. I really don't. I recently read Horror Movie. I'll link my June wrap up down below if you want to know what I thought of Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. Now, I did love some of his older books, but anyway, I did not like the Pallbearers Club at all. So I just don't want to see it on my shelves anymore. The next one is one that I read for my Horror Reader Reads Romance, and that is Lizzy and Dante by Mary Bly. We follow this Shakespeare professor who has a terminal illness diagnosed. She ends up going to Italy with her best friend and his boyfriend. She meets an Italian chef. They fall in love. Things happen. Yeah, I read it for Horror Reader Reads Romance, and I don't want it anymore. Another one that I started but only got partway through for that same vlog is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So it's a book of the month book. I'm going to unhaul it. So it's about this couple who they start dating each other to try to counteract this curse that both of them have, because it seems that whoever they date after they break up, that person goes on to find the love of their life. So this couple thinks by dating each other, they can cancel out the curse. And then that way, when they break up, each of them can go on to find their soulmates. So I'm sure, because, it's a romance book, you can figure out where it's probably going to go as far as this, couple goes. Um, this is a book I got years ago before I had really gotten back into horror reading. And this is All the Light We Cannot See. And I picked it up because, well, it says it's like a Pulitzer Prize winner, and people were talking about how good it is. But the synopsis is just not something I'm interested in now. I don't even feel like reading the synopsis for it, so I'm just gonna get rid of All the Lights We Cannot See. Let me have another drink of my cocktail here. I had to be careful that time so I didn't spill it again. I have a thing for spilling my drink on camera. Well, not even just spilling my drink. When I was on Cat from Cat's Novel Adventures, I'm just name dropping here. She does like a zombie-thon every May. And so I was on her sprints live for cocktail hour, and I had my shaker to like shake up my cocktail, but I didn't have the top on it very well. So, like, live on sprints, I go to shake up my drink and it's like spilling everywhere. I couldn't even play it off, you know. Anyway, let's talk about some books. Okay, we're down to the last three that I'm going to unhaul. The first one I know a lot of people have loved, and I have not read from Darcy Coates before. So this was my first experience. And it's a YA book, which doesn't always hit for me. So I don't know. Let me know if I should keep it and give it another chance. Where He Can't Find You by Darcy Coates. And see, listen to the synopsis. It sounds so good and creepy, but I started it and I just couldn't get into it. Don't walk alone or the Stitcher will find you. Abby Ward lives in a town haunted by disappearances. People vanish, and when they're found, their bodies have been dismembered and sewn back together in unnatural ways. But is it the work of a human killer or something far darker? Don't stay out late or the Stitcher will take you. She and her younger sister live by a strict set of rules designed to keep them safe, which is why it's such a shock when Hope is taken. Desperate to get her back, Abby tells the police everything she knows, but they claim their hands are tied. Don't close your eyes or the Stitcher will remake you. With every hour precious, Abby and her friends are caught in a desperate game of cat and mouse. They have to get Hope back quickly before too much of her is cut away and before everything they care about is swallowed up by the darkness waiting in the tunnels beneath the home they thought they knew. And there are also bonus illustrations of the chilling legend of the Stitcher in here. So I don't know. I, maybe I'll stick this on like my maybe pile. So let me know. Should I try Where He Can't Find You? It sounds like it could be a good read for like spooky season. So let me know if I should keep that one. And then the last two big disappointments, because these were two of my most anticipated releases of 2024. The first one is The Day of the Door by Laurel Hightower. I talk about this in my June wrap up video, so I'll link that down below so you can get my comments on it and why this one didn't work for me when I loved this author's Crossroads so much. So I'm thinking I'm just going to unhaul The Day of the Door. And then finally, and this one really breaks my heart because it is a hard back. Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. I just hated this book, to be honest. I just hated it. And I know that's a very controversial view because most people are loving it. I mean, the back is filled with blurbs from like horror authors and reviewers who are singing its praises. But it didn't work for me at all. Again, if you want to know why, you can watch my June wrap up video where I talk about it in detail. So I'm going to unhaul Incidents Around the House. So I know this has been kind of crazy, but that's my summer vibe right now. So thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next time. And cheers. And off. Gandalf, are you trying to be in the thumbnail? What are you doing? Frere, are you trying to be in the thumbnail now? Come on.